2020 has been a wild ass year. When y'all think about it individually, what has been the illest thing that affected you the hardest in 2020? I'll start with you, Cujo.
Damn, man. Shit, the illest thing that really affected me, man, well, I say, man, was going to the grocery store, man. Like, when this shit had hit, I mean, I ain't seen lines that long, man, till like at a club. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about shit wrapped around the corner. I mean, just really big lines, man. Just really going to the store and grabbing. Because I mean, if I'm not doing what I do, you know what I'm saying? Like CeeLo say, man, I turn back into Clark Kent. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the grocery store grabbing shit. You know what I'm saying? But to see a line that damn long, man, and everybody got masks and shit on their face and on their phones and recording everything, man. That kind of blew me away, man, because I hadn't seen that type of that people react like that.
Got you. What about you, Gip?
Just living under a curfew. Living under a curfew, you know, having to live with your elderly and they feeling like the world is changed to something they don't know, you know, worried about this virus, you know, they're scared to go outside. You know, it's just dealing with the other part of your family too. Like we might be strong and we might be in the place where we're not really worried about it, but you know, for your family that's around you, man, you have to worry about that. And that puts just a different set of mind on you every day when you have to worry about going in and out. And you know, we out here trying to promote a new album, but we still have to move around. And you know, our family members love us and they care about us, but at the same time too, you know, they be like, "Damn, y'all out there in the goddamn."
Y'all have a mask on? No. Oh.
Well, at least somebody in Atlanta is caring because, like, you know, from the outside looking in, people think that people in Atlanta are just going into the world raw. Like, I'll be seeing like videos from events, and I'm like, "Yo, what year was that?" And it's like, "Oh, that was yesterday." You know, yo, cats is outside. Like, man, we ain't gonna see these people next year. Some of them. Timo, what hit you the hardest in 2020 so far?
Man, I just say, just them taking away, you know, them shows from us, man. Us not being able to get out on the road and make this money, man. It's definitely, you know, financially pretty heavily, man. You know, I'm able to withstand it and weather the storm, but you know, I didn't plan for the storm. You know what I mean? I planned for prosperity and growth and greatness. It hurt. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Prosperity and growth. That's right. Fuck that.
Right. So that hit hard. And then not only that, man, what really kind of hit home when, you know, one of my close homeboys told me his mother had caught it, and then like about a week later, she had passed.
Oh,
you know, and then
it
hurt because he wasn't able to visit her in the hospital. He took her to the hospital, and then they wouldn't let him go in there and visit her no more. He had to actually call and FaceTime. And, man, like I said, I think sometimes when people put you in those types of situations, that, man, you could die from a broken heart, man. You know, just being sad that you can't be around your family, that hurts. And then that's scary for older people. And she was an elderly lady. And then it's scary that, you know, I know that people in my own household have contracted it. And it hasn't been devastating in my immediate household. But the scary part about it is that, like Gib said, you know, I could take it around my dad or my mom, and they're elderly, you know, puts them at risk, at a great risk and a scary risk, because I definitely wouldn't want to do nothing to hurt my mom or my dad, and man, I never forgive myself for that. So it's scary. It's like I can't go over there and feel comfortable and love on my mama, even hug my mama, you know, not knowing whether or not, you know, I'm infected, man. So it's some scary times we're living in.
Nah, that's big facts, man. Like, you know, I felt like I've been like savagely inconvenienced by all this, but I don't think it's gonna really hit me until I'm not at my grandmother's this year for Thanksgiving. Because like I have very few traditions, and that's one of them. And the last thing I want to do is travel to Texas and, get my grandmother sick. So I'm right there with you, T. Now, CeeLo, for you, what's the craziest thing that 2020 is like, kind of like, brought on your table?
Well, yeah, we definitely lost some relatives as well, to unrelated health conditions, but just so untimely and unfortunate and, irreversible. You know what I mean? Like, it's permanent. So, the pain is still there, the loss is still there, and it's tragic. You know what I mean? And so yeah, that was difficult. You know what I'm saying? Especially with being blindsided with everything else that was going on, and so it's just been real. You know what I mean? Like, it's just very humanizing. You know what I mean? The whole situation.
Yeah. Well, yo, switching gears real quick. Let's talk about, some of the Goodie Mob origins. Benjamin Elijah May High School. What does that mean to the origin of Goodie Mob? Tell me some stories.
The Honorable Benjamin Elijah Mays High School, man. It's the National School of Excellence when we were there. Funny you ask about that, because Benjamin, we all live right around the corner from Benjamin E. Mays, literally. You know what I'm saying? Him, the band and the school. You know what I'm saying? He lived right there on Pamlico, so he lived right behind me. And it's funny, I didn't even know that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I drove around his house and that area, man, and never knew until I got older that Benjamin E. Mays actually lived right behind me, man. You know what I mean? So, that brought all four of these horsemen together. Benjamin E. Mays was the platform that brought us four together. You know what I mean? It didn't actually bring us together in a musical sense, but it brought us together in a literal sense, meaning that we were all in school together, raising that Mays High Raider flag very, very high, and all gave us an opportunity to learn real high school life, real high school life. I'm talking about cut parties, from doing projects, making good grades. Making was magic. A lot of people said that's where all the bougie folk went to school. When I beg to differ.
Come here.
It was a collage of people. It's high school. You had the folk, right over there in London Townhouse area. Then you had folk over on the Cascade area, and the big mansions come to school in Corvettes and Mercedes. It was definitely a wonderful school environment for us to grow up in, and I'm very proud and privileged to have gone to Mays High School.
Yeah.
Were y'all all rapping at the time, or y'all found out each other rapped later? Because I know, Cujo was doing this thing with the Lumberjacks. I know Gip, you was in the band. CeeLo, you probably graduated a little bit later than these guys, right?
Yeah.
You was in the band, Gip?
Yeah, I was in the band. I played French horn.
I didn't know that. Damn.
Learn something about the homies every day.
I ain't never seen no instrument, no nothing, man.
That shit was heavy, Joe. I just leave it at home.
Man, play it on the next album, Gil.
If I'm not mistaken, the French horn was the same thing that my man Chuck Mangione plays, right? The Feel So Good.
Yeah, the little round shit.
That's a dope ass horn, yo.
What you know about Chuck Mangione, man? You too young.
CeeLo, let me tell you something. I don't know why, but my great grandmother used to always play "Feel So Good" in an apartment in Harlem, and yo, to this day, that song makes me sad and happy at the same time, because it brings me back to a happier time in life. Yo. I'm gonna sample you doing that part, so I don't have to pay for the sample of the horn.
That's a famous piece of music right there, man. That's dope, man.
Yo, I love that. Even on the album cover, he's hugging the horn because he knows there's like 10 of them.
It's a red album cover. He got the black hat. I remember that album cover.
Yeah, man. Like, yo, that classic joint right there. So,
damn, bro, that's dope.
Y'all all went to the same school at different times. You know, you started recording at the Dungeon. Whose idea was it to be like, all right, you guys need to be a group?
Ian Burke.
Okay. He was at the he was at the listening party. Yo, shout out to Ian. Was
Ian
it
Burke, the way it happened was that, you know, if you listen to the Outkast album, the first album, you go back and listen to Southern Playlist, you could tell that all four of us wasn't a group yet. Because when they give us shout outs, they say Big Gift, CeeLo, Goodie Mob, Outkast. You know, that's Southern Playlist. So me and Cujo was looked at as the Goodie Mob because we was the Goodie Mob, and Big Gilt was in the East Point Chain Gang, and CeeLo was a solo artist that was incredible at the time. And you know, we all four came together over at the Dungeon. We all did music, you know, four different walks of life. And man, it like Lo say, it was like a recreation center. It was like a spot for boys to just go and do music and be around each other and bond and, you know, fellowship. And we got it. We always miss one thing. We always miss giving Miss Wade her kudos, because if it wasn't for Miss Wade being considerate and loving as she was, and allowing all these different looking men to come out of her house around her two baby girls, you know what I'm saying, and trust all this traffic coming in and out her house all the time to do music. She trusted it. She let it go. She trusted her son that he was gonna take care of them and make sure they were straight. And it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful situation. And I know that ain't no way my mama would have let it happen, period, man. So it was meant to happen over there at the Dungeon, man. It did happen there. And, you know, here we are, 25 years later, you know, about to turn that thing into a museum and put some wax figures in there.
Dope. You know, it's crazy how like sometimes God will put the right people in place, man, just to make a certain alignment of things happen, man. And what's happened is a beautiful thing, man. Celebrating 25 years of Soul Food, celebrating the brand new album Survival Kit, which is available right now if you're hearing this after Friday, November 13th. And it's a hell of a move. So let's talk about these records real quick. First joint that came out, Are You Ready? Featuring Chuck D of Public Enemy. The urgency of that song, like soon as the record come on, man, and like the purpose. I was telling Sleepy Brown, I was like, yo, this is movie music. This is somebody running down the street, bag of money, final stage boss battle. Like something needs to happen right now. And that was like the last record y'all recorded for the project, right?
Yep.
Yo, like, so who heard the beat first, and what was your initial reaction?
Low Goodie.
Low
heard that beat.
Yeah, because you know, we're like some of us are kind of pair off and have little sidebar conversations and shit like that. So me and Sleepy is real close. And he had given me like a bag of beats, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and we was kind of rounding out the project. He was like, yo, we gonna close it out. And I don't really know what made me kind of, you know, refer back to it. And I was just like, damn, like this just feel like, you know what I mean? Like this a movie right here, just like what you're saying. So like, I love tracks that got that cinematic quality, and they've always likened us to Public Enemy, and it reminded me of something that they would have done in their prime. You know what I mean? So I put a verse on it, you know, and a hook reference. And I sent it just via email to everybody, just like, you know, with my fingers crossed. I'm like, I hope everybody like it. You know what I mean? You know, and the reaction came back unanimous, and everybody just laid into it. And you know, and just through a personal relationship with Cujo and Chuck, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the God, you know, blessed it for us, man. You know what I mean? So the rest is history.
Yo, y'all cooked that one. I mean, so many notable lyrics too. Back to business is being back in business, being back to business, being blacks to business. Anything less than that, sacrilegious, hard. Cujo, Looking for love in all the wrong places. 13 colleague founded by Masons. Like, yo, urgency, history, Timo coming there, like the couplets too.
Yeah.
And then like Gip just slide in there too. We're like, yo, and then Chuck on the hook. I mean, come on, man. Like, whatever movie that's supposed to be, I can't wait to see it. The lyric video held me down. But like, yo, I can't wait to see how that go crazy in the stadiums.
Yo, Craig, can I tell you what one of the working titles was for the album before we came up with Survival Kit?
What?
Y'all remember this, y'all? At first we was talking about naming it the scary movie where the black people don't die.
Yeah.
That will definitely stand out. That would have definitely stood out.
Yeah, we was gonna try to call it quarantine, weren't we?
Quarantine.
Talk about quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
Quarantine.
Who's gonna call it Stone Mountain? It was a couple different times.
Stone Mountain. Yep.
Yo, but I think Survival Kit definitely works, man, because like this is essential music in essential times, man. Like we're all living through an experience right now, and there's so many tones on the album too. Like one of my favorite cuts on there too, Me Time. Yo, the switch ups. You know what I mean? And I know y'all probably all have your personal favorites. So let's start with you. Cujo. What's your favorite song on the album?
Wow, shit, man. I'm saying my shit flip every time that somebody asks me that question, man. For real. Damn. I'm gonna have to go with Calm Before the Storm this time because I mean, Organized Noise, man, was like just showcasing each in each artist. Like in that song, man, that shit switch up about 3 or 4 times, then go back to the original sound.
Mm-hmm.
And plus we was all in there when they was making this, but this one particular song, Preston, who plays the bass, he just presented some shit to Ray. But before I walked in there, he had already given it to Ray. But then I heard the shit, I was like, damn. I was like, man, where y'all sample that shit from? And they just looked at each other, got there, were laughing and shit. It's like, man, no, man, dude played that shit. You know what I mean? So just for Organized Noise, man, to keep that shit drippy like that, man, and just switch that thing up, man, just to let people know, man, we coming lyrically and we coming with the production, man, just on a whole other level.
Yo, in like 10, 15 years, they're gonna be sampling this album. Just wait. What's your favorite song off here?
On some hip hop shit, back to back.
Yeah.
Back to back on some hip hop shit, because I feel like that record right there, it reminded me of what Black Moon would have did back in the day. Like what that early 90s hip hop would have sounded like, OC, all that kind of shit. Like that's our shit. Like it sounded like a real sample, like, and that's why on some hip hop shit, back to back, one of my favorites.
Got you. What about you, CeeLo?
I'm gonna say Curry Gold again. That's the one. That's my one. I always go to that one. I mean, because it's such a unique like vibe and bounce to it. Because it sounds like ska. If you're familiar with that, like it's kind of like upper tempo reggae vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Like for the mob, the ska track, man. Like like that hit different, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with that.
Got you. What about you, Timo?
Man, I definitely say, man, that No Cigar. You know what I mean? That No Cigar. That I was listening to the album last night, man, and I was like, man, god dang, boy. I was busting on that thing.
Thanks.
Well, man, we went slap the bone. We went slap bone on that thing, man. Then we got the honorable 3K on that thing, man. So, man, it's just, man, that's one. But all of them, I actually like all of them. That's just the one I felt like saying was my favorite today. You know what I mean?
I know it's easy to say about a project that there's something on here for everybody, but there literally is something on here for everybody, man. And I definitely think I feel like it's going to age well, just like, you know, some of the previous projects did. And it's exciting times, man.
Yes.
Who keeps y'all sharp? You know, 25 plus years in the game. I know sometimes, like, cats can get on that Danny Glover mode and be like, yo, getting too old for this shit. But no,
Right.
you guys still come along, come alive for it. So what keeps you engaged and still sharp after all this time?
Man, I got 4 boys around here, so they young, and they finding they listening to new shit all the time. You know what I mean? They be around here playing it, be around here saying the verses and everything. So I'm like, man, the youth is really motivation. That really motivating. You know what I mean? So you turn on the radio, you hear a Lil Baby, or you hear a Ghana on the radio, or you hear a Future on the radio. You know what I'm saying? That's just motivate, man. Let you know that, hey, man, it's still life in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I take, man. That's my motivation. The youth and the fans.
Yeah. I like it when the young boys can really rap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say I'm gonna give the little homie some credit, man. Like Takeoff, man. Like they don't really give the Takeoff no credit. Takeoff be spitting, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think because he's not as outgoing as the others, seemingly, that people kind of just put him in a corner. But yeah, like Takeoff do be going.
They be busting. I mean, like, and I'm gonna tell you another one who they don't really give a lot of credit, man. Like Pee Wee Longway. Pee Wee can rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's an affectionate part of me that looks at, the generation that come from where we coming out of the city and how we just still running the game. You know what I mean? Like, that's motivating in itself. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? It's energy. You know what I mean? And then, then of course, I have a son too, who's a young and up and coming producer. And, he kind of really got me back in my rap bag, man. Like, this time around, you know what I mean? Like, I listen to people, I listen to Griselda, like everything that's new and that's hot and fresh and current and different, you know what I mean? Like, I can dig it, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm aware of it and I'm into it. Like, and so sometimes just at this point, I like to be a fan too. And be like, yeah, that's dope. You know what I mean? You feel me? Like, it don't always make me like, oh, he can rap. I want to rap. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, I don't always feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I was able to break that seal though, you know what I mean? Like, just mess around with my young boy, like, then we started working on the album. It just started coming back to life again. I was like, oh shit, I can still do it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Superman ever forgets how to fly. You know what I'm saying? And y'all definitely like y'all fly every time y'all take off. And the ill thing too is like when you look at, I don't know, like when you think about Atlanta, at least me personally, whenever I used to think about Atlanta hip hop back in the 90s, I always thought about y'all, thought about Outkast, I thought about consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
The paradigm has shifted a lot. And is, and even more so lately, there's been a lot of dark energy on the city because it seems like a lot of the, guys that are up and coming are kind of beefing each other. You know what I'm saying? We've had a lot of unfortunate incidents happen recently. When do you guys feel like, that shift kind of took place within the Atlanta hip hop culture?
When we stopped raising our kids. When the industry started paying the kids more money than we ever had.
I was just about to say that. Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's what separated the connection, because what they did was to separate us. They just went to the young and said, "Hey, we'll pay you more." So when you're young now, it's almost like, "Well, look, Unc, I got more money than you, so why should I listen to you?" But no, that's a plan, because they don't want us to talk. And maybe they paying you more money because you ain't gonna get no more money for the rest of your goddamn career. That's the difference.
That's solid. That's yeah, you can't get more right than that. Well, listen, man, Goodie Mob's in the building. New album is called Survival Kit. Be sure you pick that up. New single, Frontlines, out right now. The video crazy. Shot directly in the streets during the pandemic. It felt very urgent. You know what I mean? We're about to blast that song off in a minute, but before we do, I want to play a game with you guys. It's called Playing Favorites. you guys are a brotherhood. You've been around each other for a long time. You've probably heard most of the verses. All right. So I'm gonna start with you, Big Gip. What is your favorite Cujo verse?
Shit. Thought process. Killed it.
Say
Thought
word.
process, one of his greatest verses ever, man. Cause he totally goddamn identified how we used to ride around. Like when we used to ride around before we was in the game, like I remember riding behind him and T in the Cherokee and us goddamn going to different places. And you know, it was just that verse was just so visual that I actually lived that day with them. That's why that verse, one of his greatest verses.
Yo, words make movies. All right, Cujo, what is your favorite Timo verse?
My favorite Timo verse, man. Damn, got to be Sesame Street. Sesame Street for me, because when we was in the studio, when he had first laid that verse, I'm talking about goddamn, my jaw almost dropped to the floor. I was like, God damn. I was like, did he write that shit? I mean, he actually wrote that shit? And then he went in there and he didn't change the verse, he said it over another way. I was like, oh man, no, he did. But don't nobody really know but us though, man. But it didn't change the way the song went or nothing. But I just thought when I had first heard that verse right there, man, I mean, he sounded like a baby Ice Cube when he bust that bitch out, man. It was just so goddamn. It was hard, man. That shit was hard, bro.
Salute. All right, Timo, what's your favorite CeeLo verse?
My favorite low verse, shit, all of them. But I guess I say, what's the one? What? I mean, I gotta say it, man, because it just is, man. I had to say, get up, get out. I'm sorry.
That set the tone. That's one of them joints that
sorry.
set the tone, yo.
When I hear when you say CeeLo, that's what come to my mind. I mean, straight up. I don't recall ever graduating at all. Sometimes I feel like this is a woman to y'all. You know what I mean? That's just it. I mean, that's it to me. I mean, all of them dope. Though. Everything I never done is definitely grade A. You know what I'm saying? But that one there, that was it, man. For him to be able to say that was his first rap, man, that's genius, man.
Oh wow, I didn't know that was the first joint. Yeah. Man, y'all stay coming with it. All right, well, last but not least, CeeLo, what is your favorite Big Gip verse?
Yeah. Okay. It's a couple of it's a toss up between his verse on I didn't ask to come, because I love that bar about see, I stand tall to this world like a kid walking, rapping this rhyme to itself. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely been that kid. You know what I mean? And I've also seen, kids walking down the street doing it. You know what I mean? Like, or at the bus stop, you just still they got their headphones on, they enter their own world. Maybe they listen to something, maybe they, whatever they're doing. So like it was just really visual for me.
That was I didn't ask to come.
Yeah, I didn't ask to come. That's what I said, right?
Mm-hmm. You did. Yeah.
You said I thought you said it for you. Okay.
I got favorite verse for everybody. Like, and then like, yo, so for Cujo, it's fighting for his spirit and mind. That's Joe Hardy's verse to me.
All right.
And Timo, my favorite verse from Timo is from the Age Against Machine album, Colors.
Yo, solid work. Solid work.
Yeah.
That's a dope ass verse, Mo.
Yo, man,
yeah, I
like
appreciate that.
the four of y'all, like, y'all do cinematic words, man. Like, the music, man, like every time, you hear the songs, you don't even have to see the music video. You visualize everything in your head, man. Like Timo was so brought back by that he froze. Well, yo, brothers, I know it's getting late. I love y'all so much, man. Thank you for delivering, you know, some essential music at the time where I feel like the world really truly needed it the most. This is going to definitely get us over the next 12 months. Can't wait to see how these things play out live on stage, whether we're sitting in our cars watching it happen or if we just listening to it in the headphones, man. Cujo, Gip, CeeLo, Timo, you done it again.
Appreciate that.
Wow.
Love, bro.
Peace and love, folks. The album is called Survival Kit. Be sure you can stream it, but be sure you buy it.
That's real. That's real.
Hey, we trying to sell some records. Come on, y'all. Let's go.
Done deal, man. Goodie Mob, y'all. We're going to make this thing happen, man. We're going to get to this record right now. It's called Front Lines, the latest single from Goodie Mob. Be sure you pick up the album out now. Peace.